So maybe that at the end of the season, when the new season starts, especially at the end of the summer season, at the end of the winter season, the ladies in the house, they take or remove they open the lids of the trunks and they take out all the clothes, quilts, blankets, and they air them. They put them in the sun, they sun them. So airing and sunning quilts, blankets, clothes, a common ritual. This is part of spring cleaning. Left, right. Right. So this is the definition of spring cleaning, that you clean certain portions of your house which you normally don't clean. So maybe we don't clean our bookshelves very often. Maybe some of you do. Okay? We don't clean the kitchen cabinets very often. Okay? But well, some ladies they do. And the store. I think this is the last place to clean. At least I don't clean it very regularly. It's rarely that I clean it. So what does spring cleaning include? Let's talk about it. You can see there are different things mentioned over here, which I mentioned just before the slide was visible. A very important part of spring cleaning is decluttering the house. Can anybody explain what do you understand by decluttering the house? What is your interpretation of the term decluttering, and particularly decluttering the house? Absolutely. Anybody else who would like to add something? Yes, please. Yes, please, Toastmaster Abhiya.
Over time, drawers get filled up with papers, visiting cards, they just throw them away.
Exactly. Absolutely true. So what Toastmaster Abdulaziz said, what Toastmaster Abhiya said, I'll just rephrase it and tell you, decluttering is removing the clutter. Over a period of time, we collect multiple objects, shoes, clothes, as Toastmaster Abhiya said, papers, visiting cards, okay? Even gadgets which become outdated, but we keep them. And one of the things which we all keep, battery cells, remote key battery cells, as if they are going to recharge themselves. Okay? So all this clutter we can remove when we are spring cleaning. Similarly, as I mentioned earlier, you can sun, you can air different things. You can take out quilts, okay? You can take out blankets. Okay? You can even put cushions in the sun and let them be detoxicated and let them become clean again. Similarly, curtains can be washed. I think in every household, curtains are washed once a year. Polishing furniture and floors, not very common in our culture, but in the West, people do that. And then cleaning ceiling fixtures like fans and chandeliers. This is all part of spring cleaning. So we'll continue to talk about spring cleaning, but it's high time to begin with our next and very interesting segment, a segment for which the speakers have thoroughly prepared. So it's time for prepared speeches. And first of all, I would call Toastmaster Mubashir for his speech. But before I call Toastmaster Mubashir, just a minute, Toastmaster Mubashir, I would request Toastmaster Mubashir's evaluator, Toastmaster Abdulaziz, to please tell us about the topic and the purpose of the speakers. Please, Toastmaster Abdulaziz.
Yes, thank you. Toastmaster Mubashir to talk about his experiences as a president of the country, and experiencing from special line as well as experiences at the Toastmasters.
Thank you very much. So now over to you, Toastmaster Mubashir. This is the second time you are coming to the stage. All the best.
My fellow Toastmasters, every person needs a mentor in his life who motivate him, who inspire him, who believe him, yes, you can do, who believe him, yes, you can achieve big, who believe him, yes, you can achieve your goals, who make a person to dream big. a mentor in which presence a person improve his caliber and make big dream with confidence. A mentor in which presence a person forget all the failures of his past and he only focus about his future goals. A mentor on which a person can believe and trust 100%. There was a man who was not spending a good life. He wasted his time in unnecessary and unfruitful activities. But suddenly, he changed himself. He left all the unnecessary activities. He spent his time in fruitful activities. People asked him, what happened to you which changed you? He said, I found a mentor. And my mentor realized me that life is a precious thing. It is not a thing for waste. A teacher is teaching his student. A person came there, put books and thrown into a pool nearby. The teacher stand up and he become angry with the person. The person put out all the books and give back to the teacher. But the books was not bad. The person go from there. But the teacher was surprised. He wanted to get knowledge from this person. He searched him, he found him, and he requested him, please, you become my mentor. I want to get knowledge from you. You know anyone, the person and who was the teacher? You know anyone know? Anyone know? The person was Hazrat Shah Shams Tabriz Rahmatullah Alayh, and the teacher was Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi. And Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi said, if I never met with my mentor, Hazrat Shah Shams Tabriz, then Jalaluddin never become Maulana Rumi. Maulana Rumi died 700 years before from the birth of Iqbal. And Iqbal get maximum knowledge from the books written by Maulana Rumi. And Iqbal said, if I never get those books written by Maulana Rumi, Iqbal will never become Allama Iqbal. And nowadays, countless number of persons whose ideal is Iqbal, who get motivation from the poetry of Iqbal, and they achieve countless number of successes. Qasim Shah never met with Hazrat Wasim Rahmatullah. But it's his word that if he never gets those books written by Hazrat Wasim, Qasim Shah will never become a motivational speaker. Anyone know which is who is our first mentor? Anyone know? Raise our hand. Anyone know who is our first mentor? Everyone know, because it is a very simple question. Everyone know the lap of mother is the first place where we get awareness. A teacher and a father were only those persons who want you grow more than him. There was a king who treat very hard with their people. But whenever he meet with the teacher, he give respect to him and let him go. You know why? Because his belief was teacher was the oxygen for a nation, for a society. Teacher was the oxygen for a society, and without teacher, a society will never grow. We need mentor in our every field of life. And the biggest mentor of this world is our Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We get every solution from his sunnah. In Quran, there was every solution of problems. In this class, there is a very good system that every new member has signed a mentor. When I came here first time, I signed a mentor. My first mentor was Toastmaster Hamza Shahid. And these were those days when I know nothing about what is R counter, what is grammarian, what is mode counter, what is timer. And Toastmaster Hamza made me able to perform this role. And after him, Toastmaster Daniel become my mentor. And he deemed me as a brother. And now I feel proud that nowadays my mentor is our club president, Toastmaster Hasan Akram, and he is the person. If I need a help, even in the mid of night, I just leave a message on WhatsApp, and within no time he always reply me. We all come here by learning with each other, and I believe we learn from each other, and this learning will help us to achieve our goals. Thank you. It's over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mubarak, for talking about the importance of mentor. And interestingly, you mentioned Jalaluddin Rumi and Shams Tabriz. And I would suggest to all the audience, do read the book by Alik Shafak, the Turkish writer, 14 Rules of Love. It is all about the relation between Jalaluddin Rumi and Shams Tabriz. So very enlightening speech. Let's move forward, and now I will call our second speaker for today, very enthusiastic and dedicated Toastmaster Saira. But before, I'm sorry, Toastmaster Saral, I'm sorry. Toastmaster Saral, and before I call Toastmaster Saral, I would request the evaluator, Toastmaster Salman.
The Toastmaster Anas.
I'm sorry, Toastmaster Anas is he online?
Yes, he's.
Okay, Toastmaster Anas, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Assalamu alaikum. And please tell us about Toastmaster Saral topic.
Thank you so much, Ms. Toastmaster of the evening. Now, today's speech of Toastmaster Cyril would be, the topic is inspire your audience. In this speech, Toastmaster Cyril is required to write and deliver a speech that would be interactive and that would inspire the audience. All the best, Toastmaster Cyril.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anas. So the topic of Toastmaster Cyril's speech is inspiring the audience. So over to Toastmaster Cyril. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Today, I've come in front of you all with a thought-provoking question. A question that we rarely find an answer. Do you think that things have to be either real or magic? Do you think that things have to be either real or magic? For the Toastmasters and distinguished guests, imagine your own little baby, your own little niece, or your own little nephew calling out your name, running towards you, hugging you, smiling. Picture that smile. Picture that smile in your head. What is it? What is it? Real and magical. A baby's smile. So you don't have to think that things have to be either real or magical, because the best things are both. Now stop right there and come back to your imaginative soul and bring that special person of your life in your head. Imagine that special person laughing, smiling, and being happy all because of you. You being the reason for it. Imagine that person doing well in life, improving, building, and growing, all because of you, as you shower them with your love, support, and care. Real and magical. Magical. Magic is one of those things that either seem completely unbelievable or something that is out of our grasp. It feels something that is beyond us, something that we cannot see or touch. But lately, I've begun to realize that's just not true. Magic is all around us. Something we can use to create our lives more interesting and exciting. Life is too short to merely coast through it. It's up to us to find and create a word magic. If you've ever had a door held open for you by a stranger, or received a piece of chocolate from a baby's soft and tender hand, then you know those little moments of joy those actions can bring. A spark of happiness in a relatively mundane day can truly feel like magic. Now, another big thing, which is just as magical as it can get, is nature. So you might think otherwise, but it is really true. Let me give you some examples. The solar system and the planet Earth were created by natural magic billions of years ago. However, it is believed that a big bang occurred and the world came into existence out of nothing. But we should know that out of nothing comes nothing. Similarly, every blade of grass or a stalk of corn is a product of natural magic. However, we being the human beings meekly believe the simplistic explanation that the photosynthesis does it all. However, photosynthesis itself is a subtle thing of magic that goes on all the time, hidden to our relatively silent. Another real yet magical wonder is the birth of a child. We, our bare eyes, simply see a female's body accomplishing the task of giving birth to a walking, talking, and breathing organism. However, only if we knew what magic goes on into the inner dimension to bring that new soul into this life, we would never refuse to believe in magic again. People who complain and mourn all the time would never be able to combine their 5 most basic yet priceless gifts of God, their senses, in a way to be able to see the beautiful sight during autumn when the leaves fall off the trees elegantly, or in the spring when that is completely all right, because sooner or later, some of us are prone to see the real and magical side of this world by combining those 5 senses in the way they are meant. Fellow Toastmasters, imagine gentle breeze caressing through your hair on a rain-soaked morning with just the perfect amount of sunlight, not too bright, not too dim, with the smell of wet soil, the chirping birds, and the chirping birds, and the smell of wet soil, the chirping birds, and the smell of wet soil, chirping birds, and a cup of tea. This is a moment that is created by merging those 5 senses. A moment that is not just magical, but real. So ladies and gentlemen, in the end, I would like to call upon to each and every one of you listening right now to open your eyes and mind to the magic around you. And so make each moment of your life as enchanted as it can get. I'm sure you will find yourself in a dimension of existence that were never explored. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanal. No doubt, you have created magic, and you have been really audacious because for a fraction of a second you went blank. And I think you never let anybody feel that because you overcame that critical moment and very audaciously, very confidently you covered it. Well done. So let's continue with our third speaker, and our third speaker today is the new member of Round 20 Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Sana. She will deliver her icebreaking speech today, and her evaluator would be our ex-president, very dynamic, very active Toastmaster Akash. So I would request Toastmaster Akash to please tell us about the topic of Toastmaster Sana's speech.
Thank you, my Toastmaster of the evening. Toastmaster Sana will be delivering her icebreaking speech, and the purpose of this project is for the members to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of speech. Over to you, my Toastmaster.
So over to Toastmaster Sana and best of luck.
Good evening, Toastmaster and friends. Yes, the topic of my speech is one must imagine Sisyphus. So, today I'm here
to give my icebreaker speech, which is a chance for me to introduce myself to you. To those who don't know me, my name is Sana Shahid, and like all of you, I'm a person made up of my past experience. Today, I'm here because I'm hopeful this particular experience has me become a better person. So, do you know who Sisyphus is? Anyone? Please.
That's a typical character who was given the task of rolling a stone up the hill and
Then you must know the story behind it. So, I want to begin my icebreaker speech by sharing the life experiences of Sisyphus. The Sisyphus in all of us. The Sisyphus who is driven by passion, unrelenting hard work, and never-ending willpower to accomplish not one, but multiple milestones in his life to reach his desired destination. I remember when I came to Islamabad in 2017 in search for better career opportunity and exposure. I had nothing but willpower. I had no reference for job, no significant educational degree, no hard skills, and no new friends in the entire city. The entire experience felt itself so alien and fearsome for me that as of Alice in a Wonderland, at that time, I only had two choices. Either to return home, which was done in another city, or to continue my struggle in hope for landing a job someday soon. Clearly, there were two roads diverged in life, and I took the one most chaotic, challenging with hidden pitfalls and never-ending trials. And that has made all the difference. So I kept going on, found one job, and I got super hopeful. But there were ruthless challenges for me to face. Then I moved to another job, and I couldn't be happy. But again, there were challenges even greater, and some of them were even traumatic too. So the series of moving from one job to another is still continuing. The struggle is still coming. The challenges are still there because one must imagine Sisyphus happy, struggling, and moving on, right? So I had to learn, I had to experience different things because having a job in a corporate world and a well-reputed organization isn't enough and never will be. So there was a lot of pressure on me. I had to educate myself, both personally and professionally, had to grow myself. And I did that. I did that with two jobs in a continued degree. And I kept on pursuing my passion to learn and become a better version of myself. Today, I'm proud to say I am my own school, I am my own college, I am my own university because I never had a chance to attend school as a regular student all my life, as I always been a self-sponsored student. Joining Toastmaster is also an attempt at self-learning and a long-wished desire to learn among people like you, talented people like you, and become a better version. So there were times in my career when I questioned myself, when I was about to give up, when I had mid-career crisis. I questioned myself why I'm pushing myself so hard. But then I found my strength and my success in not giving up and being who I am. But you know, it's not always easy to rely only on yourself for everything, doing it all on your own, without any support system, without any encouragement. And all you have is your own self. But there's the life of a self-sufficient Sisyphus standing right in front of you. And you must be wondering what keeps me going on And what brought me here from a small town, it's an impulse, a desire to get rid of mediocrity and to be extraordinary, to achieve something extraordinary in life, and to do something extraordinary. I hope this quest and this thirst to do something extraordinary keeps me moving on and helps me achieving greater milestones in life. With this thought, I would like to conclude my speech, icebreaker speech, with an all-time favorite quote of mine. You can beat a person who is in competition with himself and who is determined to become a better version of himself every day. Thank you.
Yes, we need to turn off the meeting for first 5 minutes.
Okay. So let's fill up this gap, and the generator is turned off, and I think it's again connected with the transmission line. Anyway, we were talking about spring cleaning, and I think now everybody knows what is spring cleaning. Okay? Now, do you think spring cleaning is a Western ritual? Do people in the West, the Goras, are doing spring cleaning? Or do you think we have this concept of spring cleaning in Eastern cultures also? What is your take on that?
I think it's more in the Eastern, less in the West.
Okay. Toastmaster Saran says it's more in the East. We are more conscious about cleaning our surroundings rather than in the West. Yes, please, anybody else?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Exactly the same.
Okay, no doubt. When I was doing some research on spring cleaning, seriously, I found that it's not only a culture, part of a culture of West, where the spring season comes after winter, which is very dark, and people are confined to their houses, inside the houses. That is a season of hibernation. Okay? And after that season is over and they are able to open the windows, they can keep the doors open, they can get the fresh air, they can get the sunshine, then they feel like cleaning their surroundings. It's the name given spring cleaning in the West, but it's part of our culture also. Like we have just discussed that it's a typical ritual of the ladies, especially the most conscious ladies, Salika Man Khawateen, that they would sun and air the objects lying in the trunks. और वो जो एक अम्मी की पेटी होती है, वो जरूर साल में 2 दफा खुलती है. So that's also part of spring cleaning, and everything is taken out, and even that petti is placed in the sun so that it gets aired and sun. Anyway, this ritual is performed not only in the West, it is performed in the East. The Japanese, they are also people who are very conscious about cleanliness. They have the spring cleaning exercise every year. Then in Iran also, they perform spring cleaning. And the Jews, Orthodox Jews, before they celebrate the ritual of Passover, festival of Passover, they also thoroughly clean their houses. We'll continue to talk more about spring cleaning, but it's time for the timer to tell us whether the speakers have qualified or not. So over to you, Hassan.
Yes, all the speakers are qualified. You can vote for Toastmaster Bashir, Toastmaster Saral, and Toastmaster Saram.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan. So you can vote, and in the meanwhile, I tell you about the Iranian ritual of spring cleaning. And I asked people in the Persian department, since in my university there is a Persian department, I asked the people over there, what is this ritual called? Well, I found the name, but I couldn't pronounce it correctly. And they said it's called Khana Takani. Spring cleaning in Iran, in Persian language, it is called Khana Takani. The word Khana means house, and Takani means shaking. Like you shake a piece of cloth and all the dust particles, they move out of it. So in Iran, before they celebrate the festival of Nowruz, which is on 21st of March, a week before that, there is a drive inside the house for spring cleaning. And they clean the house, declutter it, clean all those parts which usually they don't clean, to prepare for the festival of Nowruz. So it's quite an Eastern ritual. It's not only Western, not only the Goras are spring cleaning, people in the East also spring clean, and particularly the Iranians. So please add this word to your vocabulary, not only spring cleaning, but khana-e-takani, which is a Persian word which means shaking the house. And there are physical advantages of spring cleaning, and also there are spiritual advantages. When you remove all the clutter around you, you feel relaxed. The clutter around you, the physical clutter around you is also a burden on your soul. So you feel your soul is elevated. Anyway, let's continue, and now it's time for evaluation. So I would request the evaluators to please give their feedback on the speeches of prepared speakers. So first of all, I would request the evaluators for Toastmaster Mubashir, Toastmaster Abdul Aziz, please do tell us what is your opinion about this speech. Over to you, Toastmaster. I'm sorry, I think I forgot it. I'm sorry, I'm going in the wrong sequence. General event. Okay, it's a general event. So I would request the general evaluator, Toastmaster Suhaib, to please come over and share with us the feedback.
Thank you, Toastmaster and Rena, for such a nice theme that you selected for today. So, being general evaluator, I would like to formally begin my session with a quote that is very close to my heart. Good isn't good enough if it can be better, and better isn't good enough if it can be better. So, there's one thing common in every successful person, that is experience, that is a failure. But the point is that how they turn their failure into the success. And the answer is the self-analysis and the feedback. So we, being a Toastmaster, believe that without feedback, we cannot move forward. So today, I have a team of 4 members along with me who is going to evaluate the session. So for the first session, which is a table topic session, I'm going to call the person who is very passionate and dedicated. And over the years, she has proved herself like an astounding performance. She is none other than Toastmaster Rihanna Kausar. Toastmaster Rihanna, are you with us?
Yes, Toastmaster Suhaib, I am with you.
So, platform is yours. Please present your report about the table topic master.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. My dear fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Toastmaster Rabia was table topic master for today. He started off the segment with her smile. She was energetic, she was enthusiastic. And guess what? She came up with different idea of bringing objects to evoke the storyteller in Toastmasters. The objects were very simple. All of us use them, need them, see them every day. So it was easy for all of us to connect stories with the objects. Hats off to you, Toastmaster Rabia, for this innovative idea of bringing up common objects for Toastmasters. Toastmaster Akash, you were given a key by Toastmaster Rabia. And what you did, you engaged the audience by using that key. What is this? What is this? You asked repeatedly, and you woke up all the Toastmasters and you made them think. Your hand gestures, your body language was perfectly in line with your words. Just one little recommendation, in my humble opinion, when you conclude with great energy, like, remember, dear Toastmasters, you are holding the key. Toastmaster Salman came after Toastmaster Akash. He was given a clock. And He engaged the audience. He asked the audience what comes into their mind when they look at the clock. That was wonderful, Toastmaster Salman. You used proverb, time is money. You told us that we must keep track of time. One little recommendation, Toastmaster Salman, conclude in a way that audience will take away your message with themselves and remember it for the rest of their lives. Time is precious, dear Toastmasters. Then came Toastmaster Hassan. Toastmaster Hassan, you had a comic book. You engaged the audience. You asked audience whether how many of them read books regularly. Your hand gestures, your stage usage was amazing, Toastmaster Hassan. One little recommendation, spice up your speech with humor. You told us that you do not like to read books. You could have said, this is a book, but you know, I do not like to read books. Then came Guest Ebrar. Guest Ebrar, just remember one thing. This is the safest place to fail. Never feel embarrassed, never feel anxious. Just do not let anxiety overwhelm you. Look at the object, you were given a pen, and connect a story with it, and feel free to share your story with Toastmasters. Guest Yasin, you connected tablet Panadol with your personal life experience. Your personal life experience was amazing. Most of us use Panadol in our day-to-day life. Just little recommendation, spice it up with humor. Like, this is a magic tablet that helps me whenever I have argument with my better half. Toastmaster Saira, you were given a mask. You were smiling, you were reflecting confidence, and you engaged audience. How many masks do you have? You engaged the audience. That was amazing. And you know what? You used humor. When you told us you use masks to hide your emotions, be it embarrassment or be it your feelings that you do not want others to see. Just little work on your vocal variety, Toastmaster Saira. Our next speaker was guest Anam. She was given a mobile phone. She told us what are the uses of mobile phone, what are disadvantages of mobile phone, her hand gestures, eye contact, stage usage, all was wonderful. Toastmaster Abdul Aziz, you engaged audience. You told them that all of us see stars every day. You told us in rural areas, they are the best place to see stars at night. You talked about movie stars. Just add little humor. You could have told us about movie stars in a tone that would have conveyed energy, enthusiasm. Toastmaster Mubashir, you were given pack of cigarettes. You engaged the audience by asking them, what is this? Your hand gestures, your eye contact was amazing. Just little work on your vocal variety. Toastmaster Saral, you told us in amazing way why we still need fans when we have ACs, when we have UPS, how fans help us. And you added humor, your hand gestures, stage usage, all was amazing. It was a wonderful segment, and I would like to hand over the control back to Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rihanna, for such a detailed and insightful evaluation of table topic master. You just spoke about every speaker, every person who just came on the stage. So that was really insightful. Now it's the time for the evaluation of the prepared speeches. Now for the first speaker, that is Toastmaster Mubashir, I would like to call a person on the stage that his presence I have always cherished and has been a constant source of motivation for us. He is none other than Toastmaster Abdul Aziz.
Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Mubashir's project, Who Level 3. Toastmaster Mubashir I see something in you. But unlike the Toastmaster Jalandaya, I know what it is. So I'm going to tell you what it is. I must say, if I am to sum up Mubashir's speech in one word, I will pick up the word of the day. Audacious. Simply courageous. Mubashir, I'm glad to tell you that you have come a long way in a period of less than a year. And I can see that you have abundant talent that is helping you on your journey as a Toastmaster. I could see that when you were delivering your speech, you were confident, calm, and you were following your natural style, just seamless delivery of the dialogue, which is highly commendable. You were using the stage, you were making use of the gestures and postures, but as I said, you have abundant talent, so you can take your speeches, other speeches to the next level, for which I have a few suggestions. The use of pitch, variation of pitch, that really adds flavors to the speech. Use of stage in its length and breadth, both sides. And of course, the powerful content that adds to the impact of the speech. With this, I wish you good luck, and I'll be happy to discuss with you all my observations and recommendations if and when you are interested. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster, to the brief for such a nice and detailed feedback of the Toastmaster question. For the next speaker, Toastmaster Cyril, I'm going to call the person who is very composed, to the point, and very logical in his feedback. He's none other than Toastmaster Anas Mansoor. Toastmaster Anas Mansoor, are you with us?
Yes, I'm there. Here, Mr. General Evaluator.
Report about the Toastmaster speech.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction. Distinguished guests and fellow Toastmaster, today we had the honor of listening to yet another speech by our very passionate Toastmaster Sir. Now, there are many areas that I simply loved in this speech, but if I have to narrow these points to four, these following would be the points. First of all, her hand gestures were amazing. And every word that she was saying, she was complementing it with the words, saying with hand gestures. For example, when she said that magical moment when you see your children or your nieces, when they came running to you, and she actually opened her hands while she was talking about hugging, when these kids hug you, that magical moment. Secondly, voice clarity was another feature that was simply great, and that makes a speech very effective. Online, and there were some technical difficulties, but her voice clarity was that clear that I was able to listen to each and every one of her speech. Third, her eye contact was very good. She was looking at the people sitting in the front row, at the back row, people sitting on the right and on the left. So everyone felt that she is looking and talking to them. Another thing that can happen to anyone is forgetting about speech, but she managed it so professionally. And my personal suggestion is always have a trick question in your speech. While you're drafting a speech, always write a trick question and throw it at the audience. While they would be responding to that topic, you can quickly come back to your topic. Now, like every speech, there are some areas of improvement, in my humble opinion. First of all, the topic was required to be interactive and inspirational. One of the ways that we can inspire an audience is by sharing a personal story. I believe that that was missing. If we can add a personal story, no matter who a person is, people always have difficulties in their lives. And in order to get out of those situations, people somehow have to improvise and get in order to get out of that situation. So you could have shared your personal story, you could have shared the example from your charter accountancy education, just association. Secondly, we can also have, in order to become more interactive, we can ask more questions from the audience. There was just one question. I believe that we can increase the number of asked and interesting questions from the audience to make sure that audience is responding and they're always attentive. Overall, it was a fabulous speech. I love the voice clarity, hand gestures, eye contact, and the way you manage the speech. If you can work a bit on your interactive skills and add a more questions, it will make your speeches more effective. Great speech. Looking forward to future speeches.
Thank you, Toastmaster winners, for such a detailed, sincere, and honest feedback about the Toastmaster speech, and hope that it will help her to improve their improvement and become the proud of RTC. For the next speaker, the evaluator I'm going to call up on the stage is the person very dynamic, very vibrant. He's none other than ex-president and the current Asian Line director of the Toastmaster. Please welcome Toastmaster Akash on the stage.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Do you know who's Sisyphus? Now.
Yes.
Because I also didn't know. When first Toastmaster Sana shared with me her speech title, I didn't know who that person is, what that word is, and how to pronounce it. I actually opened my mobile and I opened the audio dictionary. And then I came to know about this pronunciation. So Toastmaster Sana started it brilliantly. She had facial expression. Who's Sisyphus? Do you know who's Sisyphus? And he actually made a connection with a person we didn't knew even initially. And when she said that, we have Sisyphus in all of us. He actually connected that Sisyphus, which we don't knew initially, and he made that realize that mythical character, that person, that character is in all of us. And that is the first time in my Toastmaster career that I saw this kind of thing. So hats off to your facial expressions. And another thing I would like to comment is your hand gestures. When you said that passion, unrelenting hard work, you were portraying that emotion, that passion, that unrelenting hard work through your hand gestures. And when you said that you had no reference of job, you had no skills, again, you were portraying with your hand gestures. So hats off to you. But there are a few areas of improvement. And let me tell you, you're a very confident speaker. You're a very confident speaker. But we have some areas of improvement and you can improve that. So I would like to recommend that you will improve your stage movement. Though it was satisfactory, you were using the kind of this area of stage. But what I would recommend, you can use the full stage. This is your playground. And don't make unpurposeful movement. Always move with the transitions. You can move, you can do stage movement when you are moving from opening to body, to conclusion, you can do stage movement. Another thing I would like to recommend is the eye contact. Though your eye contact was good, but you were missing this side. So overall, Toastmasters Sana, a very good speech with facial expressions, with audience connection. A few areas of improvement is stage movement and eye contact. Brilliant speech. Looking forward to listening.
Thank you, Toastmaster and Kash, for such a detailed analysis of the icebreaker speech. Now it's time for the timer. All the evaluator qualified.
Yes, all the winners are qualified. You can vote for Toastmaster Abdul Aziz, Toastmaster Rehanna, Toastmaster Anas, and Toastmaster Kash.
That's nice. So meantime, you are voting. We can have a report from our role play. So can I request to our counter to present the report?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Where Toastmasters said yes? Thank you, General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters said yes. Let me share with you the report. We asked how many hours each speaker uttered during his or her speech. Toastmaster Hassan, 3 times. Toastmaster Suhail, 2 times, and he used the French word so 2 times. Toastmaster Amrina, none. She used the French word so a few times. Toastmaster Rabia Tariq asked 4 times. And no French words she used during her speech. Toastmaster Akash Kumar, none. Toastmaster Saira, 2 times. She used the French word so many times during her speech. Guest Adam, 4 times asked, and you used the word, the French word so 7 times. Toastmaster Abdul Aziz, 2 times asked. Toastmaster Mubashir, 1 time. Toastmaster Saran, 2. Toastmaster Rehanna, 3 times asked. Toastmaster Anas Mansoor, none. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, our counter. I would call them the backbone of our club because we cannot run our meeting without these contributors. Next, can I request timer to present his report?
For the table topic speaker, Akash took 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Salman 1 minute and 48 seconds, myself 1 minute and 20 seconds, guest abroad 1 minute 10 seconds, guest Ijaz 1 minute 41 seconds, Toastmaster Sana 1 minute 48 seconds, guest Anam 1 minute 51 seconds, Toastmaster Abdul Aziz 1 minute 30 seconds, Toastmaster Mubashir 1 minute 53 seconds, and Toastmaster Sunat 1 minute 21 seconds. For the prepared speaker, Toastmaster Mubashir took 6 minutes, Toastmaster Saran 5 minutes and 30 seconds, Toastmaster Sana 6 minutes. For the evaluator, Toastmaster Abdul Aziz 2 minutes and 9 seconds, Toastmaster Rehanna 5 minutes 16 seconds, Toastmaster Anas 3 minutes, Akash 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Now I request the grammarian to come on the stage and present his report.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. What I observed, one of the speakers used Madam Toastmasters. It could have been used Madam Toastmaster. One of the unique and the good usage what I observed is key of power. That is a good usage. There's a good combination. One of the speakers said more than 1 phones. What I would recommend more than 1 phone. One of the speakers used want to judge. It could have been used wanted to judge. One of the speakers used mentor realize me. It could have been used mentor made me realize. One of the speakers used deal with. It could have been used, in my humble opinion, dealt with. And as far as word of the week is concerned, only 3 speakers have used, that is Toastmaster of the evening, table topic master Toastmaster Navya, and Toastmaster Abdul Aziz. If I have exaggerated or underrated, do pardon me. That's all from my side.
Now, being general evaluator, it's my responsibility to evaluate the meeting all in all. So I will like to begin with the first positive point that I observed. The first thing that I really appreciate the guest appreciation. I just witnessed when the Ibrar came on the stage and he was taking pauses, so everybody started clapping. That was the main asset of the Toastmaster, the motto. The second thing that I like is the way of the Toastmaster Salman, like being sergeant at arms, the way that he asked the members to turn off his phone like it was not conventional. So like he just said, he asked the question, how many of you have cell phones? So everybody he grabbed the attention of the audience. So that is the very important thing to kick off the meeting. The third thing that I really like, which wasn't present in the last meeting, that every speaker, the evaluator of every speaker was telling the objective of his speeches. So this is something that we can improve, and I believe that this will keep happening in the next meeting. So there are a few humble suggestions which I feel that in concentrating that can enhance the quality of the club. So the one thing that I missed, that there should be some standing over here of the RTC that should have been more good impression to the guests and the members. The second thing is I observed maybe that is the ease is coming, that we somehow lacking in the energy. In the table topping master, we were not like really appreciating the guests or the speakers. Maybe that's like that you don't like to come to the Toastmaster because the ease is around the corner, or you may think about that you have to leave your hometown. So the third thing which can be improved, like in a meeting, everything was very perfect, but few members were talking to each other. It may distract the audience, distract the speaker or the person who has come on the stage first time. So it is recommended to please talk to the slip. So all in all, it was a good meeting. The ambience was very good. So I would like to hand over the platform to the Toastmaster because we are running out of time.
Thank you so much for the great evaluation Toastmaster. Meanwhile, we can vote for big three. The big three were Toastmaster Fred, Toastmaster Veena, and Toastmaster Rabia. You can vote for the big three. I am scheduled to select a big three. Meanwhile, we can take feedback from the guests. So, Abraham would like to come here and give the feedback of the whole meeting.
The meeting or the whole meeting was good. My point of view is that this meeting is making a new learning process, making new ideas. That was very nice. All speakers were good.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to having you in the next meeting. Next, we'd like to call guest Anam to the stage to come and share the feedback.
It doesn't allow me.
To earn something, you can lose something.
Yeah, I have lost my number.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. It was, I guess I need to invent a new language to describe this overall experience. As I have almost 4 year experience of teaching, and I know how to talk, how to engage audience. But when I came here and I thought like I am a student, I might be answering first. And the way you encourage and your this distribution and then giving positive feedback, that is what I appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to having you in our next meeting.
Thank you.
So the certificates are ready. Okay. So, what do you think? Who is the best table topic award winner for today? Any votes? Any other cases? So, ladies and gentlemen, for today, the table topic winner is none other than our ex-president Toastmaster.
My second satisfied because I'm a member of C club and I used to visit 3 meetings. So I guess that I'm going to make a hat trick someday.
Thank you. So, who is the best prepared speaker? Any wild guesses on that? Sorry?
Actually, they should be a tie.
How many votes for Sana? Raise your hands. And how many votes for Sir?
I vote for both of them.
Well, the best prepared speaker award goes to Toastmasters for a child.
Thank you, Mr. I would like to thank my mentor. He helped me सुबह बजे तक बैठ के हम लोगों ने presentation किया था and जो भी improvement थी मेरे सिर्फ speech prepare की बाकी जितनी भी improvement थी उसको एक lively performance बनाने के लिए वो सारी है।
Who do you think won the best evaluator award for today? Okay. Any other cases? All right. So the best evaluator award goes to none other than our ex-president Toastmaster Raj.
So I got that head certificate.
Yeah.
Actually, there is another camera in there. Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more certificates. Okay, yes, big 3. So, what do you think is the winner of Big 3 awards today? Toastmaster India, Toastmaster. And the award goes to none other than Toastmaster Ravi Atarik. We have 2 more certificates for the acquisition for our guest. So I would like to call guest Abraham on the stage to see the certificate. We had another guest who is not present at the moment. That was guest Ijaz. We have next our certificate. With this, I would like to adjourn the meeting. Looking forward to have a great meeting next. One second. Toastmaster, sorry, guest Anand, from the stage for the. With this, I would like to adjourn this meeting and looking forward to have a great meeting next Saturday. Now we can gather together for the group forum. Your phone,